Well, I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Mourinho needs to go. This he's the one that gave himself the name the special one, right? Because it does take a very special manager to take a 1-0 lead where you're dominating the first 10 minutes and then turn it into a 3-1 loss at home. And before I talk about the game, let's just look at the fact that there have been 3 struggling teams that we faced so far. Okay, 4. You had um, Newcastle tied 2-2. Southampton lost 3-1 at home. Aston Villa beat 2-0. Whoop-de-doo. And now Liverpool lost 3-1 at home. And this is twice now that we face this team. Jurgen Klopp, great manager, but he's still trying to figure. This is his 3rd Premier League game. He's still trying to figure it out. Still trying to get his team figured out. Played fairly well against Southampton last week, but still not there. And even this game, the high press was fine. They went in with a false 9 striker. Okay. But they still didn't have it. The high press worked okay, but if Chelsea had just moved the ball around a bit more, if they had passed quicker, it would have been no problem. But when you've got players like, Mikel on the field who don't move the ball fast, when you've got Hazard who's underperforming, when you've got Costa who can't hold on to the ball, it doesn't matter. You're going to lose the ball. It's going to happen. And so that's the first part. The fact that they didn't move the ball fast enough and Liverpool pressed high. That was the first part. The second part is we got the goal, opening goal. Started off very well. And then just Mourinho said, hey, sit back. And that's Mourinho from 2 years ago, when we ended up in 3rd place because we gave away a couple games, against teams like Sunderland, where we were ahead, and then we sit all the way back, just have all this pressure, and then the way our defense has been playing this year, they're going to get through eventually. It's not like 2 years ago when our defense was solid, and we could sit back. We could do stuff like that because our defense didn't let stuff in. This year, our defense has been very poor, so to sit back is just like saying, okay, bring on the goals. It's really stupid, and the best defense is a good offense. If you can keep the ball, if you can keep possession and keep it on their side of the field, you don't have to worry about your defense being poor, because guess what? They don't attack you ever because you got the ball. But no, Mourinho and his stupid. Okay, so that was the first half pretty much. Got the goal early and then just sat back for the rest of the half, and then Mourinho's in the tunnel with 2 minutes left, and so the team is heading to the tunnel in their minds with 2 minutes left, just taking all this pressure. Ramirez, stupid. Nobody's tracking Coutinho top of the box. Ramirez puts in a dumb challenge. It gets megged, and of course Coutinho top of the box with no pressure is always going to finish. And so, after controlling the first 10 minutes of the game and being up a goal 1-0, then sitting back the rest of the half, taking all this pressure and finally letting one in, now it's completely changed the game. Because what was going to be a maybe come out strong second half and put a second one in, put them on their heels, is now we got to go get one back. Now we got to get another goal to win the game. And once again, started off fairly well, but the changes he makes really don't make any sense whatsoever. And if you really think, bringing off Hazard, putting on Kennedy, not a bad decision. I don't know who was on the bench, I didn't check, but Hazard was fairly non-existent for this game, and that's obviously got to change, so the special one needs to make him step up his game. But bringing on Kennedy, I like that. We haven't seen enough of Kennedy. Seems like a pretty decent young player. Give him a chance to really shine. He's fast. He's got good skill. But then you bring on Fabregas, and if you watch my first review, Chelsea versus West Ham, I'm not a huge Mikel fan. He's defensively he marks space instead of the man. Offensively, his touch is too slow. That's why first half every time they get the ball to him, it's like 2 or 3 touches and then he passes or he loses the ball. So, but this game he did okay. The fact that we sat back most of the first half, he was able to just be there, but still ended up in not marking a man tight enough a couple times. But if you're gonna take him off the field, bring on somebody that's going to be able to get forward, obviously, but still be able to do the defensive work. And Fabregas does neither of those. He was great last year. What has he done this year? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And you bring him on the field, so now not only are we not getting forward in the attack because Fabregas most of the time will just either kick it up the field or he'll lose it in the middle of the field, but he never tracks back. He's worse than Mikel, which is saying a lot because Mikel defensively a little shaky. And now you bring on Fabregas who doesn't even really defend. Of course you're going to get scored on. And sure enough, I mean, once again, you got everybody forward. Fabregas is not tracked back. Ramirez is getting back, but he was forward in the attack. And so it just, defense has been poor. You see it again. Cross comes in. Azpilicueta once again on the big guy. Why? This is the second week in a row that we've gotten scored on because Terry and Cahill can't pick up the target man. Last week it was Carroll. Azpilicueta can't beat him in the air. This week it's Benteke. Azpilicueta can't beat him in the air. And Azpilicueta is a great defender, but height is not his strong suit. So if you send in a cross and Azpilicueta is marking your target man, well, that's a battle that he's probably going to lose, unfortunately. So Terry or Cahill should be on Benteke, but no. Azpilicueta was on him, so Benteke heads it down. Coutinho, once again, a simple cut, beats Cahill, because, diving is what all good defenders do. And, lucky deflection off Terry, but still, I mean, what did we do defensively to stop that? Practically nothing. And then, from the mind of Jose Mourinho, put on Falcao, okay, bring on another attacker, hope to get another goal, maybe take the game back. Makes it for Azpilicueta. Why? 2 weeks in a row. This is the third time in this season that he's done that he's taken off Azpilicueta because we needed a goal. Why? Why? He is your best defender right now. He's your best defender on the field. He gets up in the attack, he gets back in the defense. He's weak in the air, sure. He still does the rest of the defensive duties. He does it all well. His height is the one weakness that he has. Every other part of the game has been solid. All the other defenders have had poor games, made poor decisions, had just overall poor games. And more than one. Azpilicueta has not had one poor game, in my opinion. He's had a couple mistakes here and there. He's been beaten in the air twice now. Other than that, great defender. And for some reason, Mourinho thinks, okay, we need to get up in the attack without giving up. I'll pull off his book. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. And sure enough, Benteke comes down the field and she just cut, and Terry and Cahill are beat. Goal. And at that point, I stopped watching because it's one thing. I don't know what he said in the post-match press conference, and frankly, I really don't want to see. But just there are certain decisions as a manager that you have to make, whether it's fielding players, substitutions, and style of the game. And all three of those, he's failed a lot recently. I mean, the decision to have Mikel and Ramirez on the field, it worked for most of the first half, but near the end of the first half and at the beginning of the second half, it stopped working. Mikel started diving in, Ramirez started diving in and started, their Liverpool's attack got a lot better because they stopped defending well. The decision to take off Mikel for Fabregas and then take off Azpilicueta for Falcao, two stupid decisions for subs, and the decision to sit everybody back when you went up a goal, another stupid decision. So it's just nothing's changing, and that's the biggest problem for me is that nothing is changing. We're not getting better. We've had a couple good moments in games. I mean, when we went down a man against West Ham, we looked better. And we had that one good game against Dynamo Kiev where we tied at their place. We looked better. But it's always moments. It's never a whole game. It's never a whole game of, okay, we look good. It's always, oh, okay, we looked good for those 10, 15 minutes, and then they took the game to us, and our defense couldn't handle it, and Costa just, once again, non-existent. Doesn't do anything on the field, and you can say the same thing about Falcao and Remy. They're not doing well either. But I prefer to have somebody that works hard off the ball and on the ball than somebody who just, will run around a bit, chase some people down, and then when he gets on the ball, just loses it. So, that's my biggest problem right now, is that Mourinho's making all these stupid decisions, and his attitude does nothing to help his case. I'm sure he'll probably say something about the referees this game because there were a couple decisions that were poor. I think there was that one moment where everybody was calling for Lucas to get a second yellow, and honestly, normally I'd say, not really a yellow card challenge. But when you look at Matic's second yellow last week, pretty similar challenges. Just stopping Ramirez from going forward. Even though it's not a bad challenge, and Matic's was about the same. He just stepped across and grabbed the guy. So, that was pretty poor. But other than that, the decisions were fairly. Sometimes they were good, sometimes they were bad. So he had a fairly game. But I'm sure Mourinho, being Mourinho, will want to call attention to that challenge. But another disappointing loss, another disappointing home. I mean, how many games have we won at home this year? 1. How many games have we won this year? 2. Beat West Brom away and then beat Aston Villa at home. Oh wait, beat Arsenal at home. I'm sorry. Yeah, I like to forget about that game because we didn't play well. So, we've had 2 home wins. In the rest of the home games, we've had 1 tie and two losses. So, I don't know what the fix is. I don't know if Mourinho does need to get fired. I think he does, but that's just a personal opinion. A lot of people are like, well, he can still win trophies. He's won the club so much, but when things don't get better, at some point you have to say, okay, we got to cut our losses before we get relegated because it's not getting better. It's not. Players aren't getting better. The play is not getting better. The attitude outside of the field is not getting better. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Your move, Abramovich. I'll see you guys at the next review. Peace out.